Good evening and welcome to round 2 of season 18 in Division 2. My name is VNT Felix One. I'll be taking you through tonight's Las Vegas Grand Prix and I'm joined this time by Sully. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, glad to have you with us. Glad to have a
Yeah,
co-commentator and someone who knows Division 2 very well.
I do. Yeah, glad to be back. Um, I don't know when was the last time I was in the commentary box for Div 2 race. Probably quite some time ago, but I'm glad to be back.
I think the last time, I don't know, was there another time where you decided not to race and commentate instead? Or would the last time have been back when you weren't allowed in Div 2 and because you were too good at the
Yeah,
time?
probably around season 10 or 11 or something.
Yeah, like right when Division 2 started and you were too fast for it, because the Division 2
Yeah,
was a lot slower then.
probably.
But 18 cars on tonight's grid. Phantom and Pocho, still waiting on those guys. Phantom, we know the situation. We'll see what Pocho turns up. Phantom definitely will, I imagine. So that should then be 19 or even 20 cars around the streets of Las Vegas. And on a street circuit like this one, with such high speeds and so many overtaking opportunities, that could lead to a great race. After last week, of course, Gabri, our championship leader, with the win in the first round. And the main contenders seem to be Gabri and the two Ferraris, Sean and Kuko. It was a five-way battle all throughout the race with those three and two of the reserves, Stav and our man Sully. What would you actually say? You experienced it firsthand last week, of course, and last season as well. Who would you say has the best chances of this season? Gabri, Kuko, or Sean? Or even if
Um,
you have another name, you can throw them in the mix, but I think those are the obvious ones.
as as of now, I think Gabriel's the guy to beat because. I think Kuko and Sean, if they want to beat Gabriel over the course of a season, they need to step up their game a bit more. Because they might have the pace on some specific tracks, but yeah, over the course of last seasons, Gabriel obviously fighting with me and PC Willy, he learned something from it, and I guess that's a slight advantage that he has over the other drivers, because I mean Sean is slowly getting used to the game, and you're seeing it based on his performances. And Kuku is I don't know, it's tough to judge because on some races he is up there, if not one of the fastest guys on track, and the next race he is nowhere. So yeah, for me it is Gabri currently the most favorite one.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Gabri does seem to be generally the. Of course, there's a reason that last season he was in the title fight for so long, which with you and PC really, and now with well you dropping down to reserve, PC really being removed from Division 2 for being overqualified. That is Gabri's biggest rivals gone. Kuko and Sean definitely stepped up. It seems like in the first race they put a good fight to him, but yeah, they are gonna have to take some points off him. Of course, they have the advantage as well of being able to work as a team. Gabri's teammate Lanky Brown not so much in the fight for those podiums and race wins. So he is more on his own up there. We've got Pix coming to not the first hot lap of the session here, as Phantom Fox has just taken his car, so we're now up to 19 drivers. Only car staying empty is the Red Bull of Pocho. Jules Valentine replacing Ossie in the Sauber, so it's only Ossie and Pocho who, sorry, Ossie, Pocho and Skoloin who are here today, as Alex G is also a reserve stepping in for Skoloin in the Red Bull. 31.880 by Pix the first lap on the board. Jules Valentine goes back to the pit lane. We have got another few cars up to the line. Maxi 32.6 and then Mihai coming out the final corner as well. And that's a 31.8. 2,000th behind his teammate. And Viral goes top. He already won the race yesterday. And he confirms that pace once again. Of course, that Division 3 race gives a bit of insight in who might be faster on you. Of course, Edwin was on pole position and he's coming to the end of his lap right now. So we'll see if he can carry that form into Division 2. Of course, the competition is tougher, so I wouldn't expect the pole position, but for sure it could be a good race for Edwin. And he is second place so far. Both Aston Martins down to the line, Bobodinho and then JM, as JM goes on an outlap. And for Bobodinho, that's a 32.077. Next car is Sean Mull. Running out of ERS down towards the line, that's cost him a couple of thousands maybe. But that is definitely the reason that he's so far down, because he is quite far away from pole position, 31.9 for Sean. That is not quite the lap you'd expect. You would think he has a bit more pace than that as Gabriel gets past his teammate Lanky Brown on the back straight. I imagine there's a tow happening down there. Flavors hasn't validated his first run. I think Gabriel is the next one coming to the line on a hot lap. So we'll stay on board with him for these last couple of corners. Now, of course, all the Ortec used down towards the line to try and set himself on position 31.5 to beat by Viral. And that's a 31.306 for Gabri, almost 3 tenths out of Viral. He goes on provisional pole position. We've got JM nearing another lap, and he gets a tow from his teammate by Bobodinho up ahead here. That will help him gain crucial speed down the straight. Look at that, almost hitting 360 kph. And gets the car slowed down perfectly for the apex. That would have helped him a good bit, that tow down the Las Vegas strip. And I think JM could be about to go quite far towards the top of the standings. And he goes all the way to the top, 31.227. Okay. And seeing that gap, that slipstream definitely made the difference. Now on board with Cucco, the Italian, into the last corner. His first lap of the session, 11 minutes to go. He's gone out quite late for his first run. So this has to be a good one. His teammate down in 8th. His main rival Gary up in 2nd. Huxley inside line for the final corner. That's a 31.031 and Cucco is on provisional pole position. Next car coming over the line is Alex G on his first lap of the session. A purple middle sector as it says in the game, but of course that doesn't mean much in the F1 game. Alex having missed the Division 3 race today due to connection issues, unfortunately. So we'll see, yeah, his actual pace today. We'll see whether he would have been able to compete yesterday, or if he's able to compete today as well, of course. And that's going to be a 32.881, that's P14 for the moment. 2 tenths behind Maxi and 7 tenths out of Action Rick. Gilles Valentine with a slide out the last corner. Early on the throttle, aggressive. And down to the line, that's a 31.990, and he just about gets into the top 10, less than the 10th ahead of Bobodinho. Always improves to a 31.725 and stays in 5th. So far then, I would say the only big surprise is Sean being quite far down the field. Other than that, Viral, of course, with a strong qualifying, up in 4th place, pretty close to that top group. And Kuko with a very strong start to qualifying as well.
I'm still waiting for a guy like Bobodinho, if he has a bit more in hand. Because he was a pretty strong qualifier last season as well, when he returned. So I don't know if he has more in it, but I would expect a bit more.
Yeah, that Aston Martin team is a bit of a wildcard. Bobodinho and JM, both drivers that a few years ago raced in, well, not that long ago in the case of Bobodinho, but a while ago, a few seasons ago. Yeah, a few seasons ago, raced in Division 2. Well, in JM, in case it literally was years. And they were quite fast. And they returned. They still are fast. They haven't been quite on the same level. But I think they are definitely drivers to contend with, and they are going to be an issue for our established top group.
And Bobodinho is improving more than half a second this lap, so he is marking for that second row.
Yeah, but he's a bit low on the EIS here, and he's not got that much speed on the main straight. 340 kph only, which sounds silly when you say it out loud, but down that straight, 340 kph really isn't all that much as Papdog jumps into 4th place, a 31.572.
Yeah, if you consider JM who reached 360, so it's 20 kph less, but still a big improvement for him up until P4.
So top 4 now against Kuko, JM, Gabri and Bobodinho. Next driver up to the line is a V-Carb, so it's either Pix or Mihai. And that is Pix. Coming into the last corner, currently in 9th, 31.880, his previous best lap time. But he is low on EIS already as we come into the last corner here. And that's a 31.783, a slight improvement, gets him ahead of Edwin into 8th. But Edwin himself on an improvement, he's run off EIS completely, down to the line. Still an improvement, and he goes 5th fastest, 31.480. Edwin with strong pace today. Gabri on another run and almost 3/10 up in that middle sector, challenging Kuko for pole position. JM and Kuko also on laps right now. JM coming towards the end of sector 1 here. We'll have a quick look at his sector times, then go back to Gabri. JM 1.5 tenths up as well. Kuko has invalidated, no improvement coming there. Gabri down towards the line. With 5 minutes to go, he probably has one more lap in him. But still, it would be, of course, very much desirable to be on pole position for the moment. And it could not be any closer. 31.031 for Kuko, 31.032 for Gabri.
Probably that second of having 0% ERS probably cost him the pole position there.
Yeah, JM now onto the Las Vegas strip. He tapped the barrier on the exit of the corner. He's now also not got a slipstream here at last lap, so I think that will cost him the 2/10 he was up. But we'll see. He still has one corner to go. He can, if he nails this one, definitely gain that time back. And if he does get a good final sector, he would be on course for pole position. But of course, that previous final sector he had was with slipstream, and he's going to go back to the pit lane. So yeah, the slipstream he had earlier definitely had a big effect. As Flavors jumps into the top 5, 31.423. Alpine 5 and 6. Strong qualifying for them so far. Sean Mull over the line, and he jumps into 5th, 31.362. Sean Mull joins our top 5. That's more where we expect him to be. Alex G up by half a second as he comes onto the Las Vegas strip. That could put him ahead of Lanky in the 16th, ahead of Bazooka in the 15th maybe. But after that, the gaps are pretty big down towards the bottom of the field. Down to Jill Valentine, it's about 9/10 from Kuko to him, 9.5. And then the gaps start to increase quite a bit to Bazooka, Lanky, and then again to Alex and Actionrig. Phantom still without lap time. Hopefully he can get one in right in the end at least. So at least he doesn't have to start all the way at the back. I saw Flame was up half a second, but he's in the red, so I imagine he just cut a corner. Alex G goes 15th fastest, 32.249. 31,000 out of Bazooka. So at the moment we've got no one on a hot lap. 3 minutes left to go. Calm before the storm. Bombardino's already on his outlap, so he'll go quite early. He has to get lucky here not to get into traffic, because otherwise that could definitely ruin his qualifying. If they all come out the pit lane right as he starts his lap. Especially with the way the pit exit is designed around here, where it sort of comes onto the racing line a little bit. That could cause an issue for Bombardino. They are now coming out the pit lane. He might not have timed this too well. Rival already on his lap. He came out ahead of all of that traffic. A bit over a 10th up in that first sector, and with how close that top 10 is, I mean, he's half a second off pole. Anything is possible here, really. Jills Valentine also already on his lap now. Coming towards the sector 1, currently 14th, 31.990. Doesn't need much of an improvement to get a couple of places, and he's up by 2/10 in that first sector. That alone could put him to the top 10. Not quite, actually. A little bit more in his top 10. Bombardino underway as well now, and I think he got away with it with that traffic as well. 2/10 up in the first sector, on course to at least beat JM, and he only needs another 10 for 2 to beat Kuko and Gabri as well. Viral then, already down to the last corner. And if this lap is a good one, he could surely go all the way into the top 3. It's so close. 3/10 he only has to JM, 3.5. And we shall see as he goes down towards the line. Where's Viral gonna end up here? That's a 31.278. That's P4 for Viral. He jumps all the way from 9th to 4th. Bombardino though, 4.5 up after the middle sector. His teammate JM unfortunately not in a position with slipstream, has to let him go there. But Bombardino already out of ES, and that will cost him down towards the line. Jills Valentine coming over the line, he jumps into 9th, gains half a second. And Bombardino is that ES, and he's used too early in the lap, gonna cost him. As he goes over the line, it is still provisional pole, and by a margin, 30.785. Gabri and Kuko starting their last laps. Now JM as well. Kuko is a bit late. He will make the line just about. But he's pretty close to that Mercedes ahead of him, which I think is... oh well, either Pub Dog or Bazooka, but they're both on out laps. So Mercedes is also starting a lap, so there could be a problem for Kuko. Next car over the line is Mihai, who is 3.5 or 3.25 up after middle sector. That could put him into the top 10. And look at those gaps. That is so close. From Flavors to Pub Dog, 1.5 tenths. Mihai goes into 10th, 31.570. Next up, Always 1.5 tenths up. After that, it's the McLaren of Maxi, I imagine. We already saw Viral. And Always goes into P7, 31.414. And Maxi's not coming up just yet. That was Viral coming down the line. Lanky Brown hasn't validated while being 5, almost 6 tenths up. That's really unfortunate for Lanky. That would have been 31.635. That would have put him quite far up the field, rather than being down in 17th. Fix over the line, currently 13th. He needs to go into... stays where he is. He improved, but stayed where he is. Gabri, 1.5 tenths up. That won't be enough to beat Bombardino, but it will be enough to beat Kuko, who is coming up in the back of his teammate Sean. Gabri goes second fastest, 30.966.
Kuko gets a slipstream. Kuko will get a big slipstream from his teammate.
Yeah, a big one. Sean is giving a slip all the way down the straight.
And even the straight after.
Ferrari, that's what I mean. Kuko's gonna help from, Kuko and Sean can help each other in this fight for a championship. Sean himself having a bad qualifying down in 8th, but at least he can help Kuko, and surely that should be pole. I mean, surely, yeah. 30.542 with a slip like that. If you don't get pole position, retire. 30.542 by Kuko. It's still a great lap to be. What's that? 2.5 tenths ahead of Bombardino, who himself is 2 tenths ahead of Gabri. Edwin and Flavors in 4th and 5th, a great qualifying for Alpine. Didn't notice them going over the line. JM in the end slips down to 6th, but he also showed great pace there. Then Raul in 7th, followed by Sean all the way down in P8, not where you would have hoped to be. Always in 9th, and Jules Valentine rounds out the top 10, with Mihai then in 11th. I think then 12th was Papdog. We'll go through the rest of the results in a moment once I have the results screen. So yeah, it is Papdog in P12, followed by Pix in 13th, then Maxi in 14th, Bazooka in 15th, with Alex G in 16th, Lanky Brown in 17th, and Action Rick in P18. Finally, Phantom Fox didn't get a lap in the end, couldn't get out on time. Starts from the back of the grid. But if you're going to pick a track where you have to do a last to first, I think Vegas is a pretty good pick. Good overtaking opportunities, some chances for chaos. Of course, if you are at the back, there's more chance to be involved in that chaos, but it can also help you get towards the front. So, after that qualifying, what are we expecting for the race? Who's your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, it is probably the most boring answer to say, but I guess the proposition man Kuko. But it's gonna be tough. I think that this race it's gonna be decided on small details over the course of the race. I don't think that there is anyone who will be just faster than everyone else.
Oh no.
Oh, Bombardino.
It was in such a great position, showed great pace in qualifying. And that is gonna ruin this race for sure, because I don't think... I think if he gets back into an information lap, he can get control as soon as the race starts, but that still is a bit messed up, because he now can't set a strategy or anything, so he has to just hope the game gives him a good one. And also, if he has setup changes to make in the Park for May, for example, changing tire pressures or brake bias, he can't do that now. So the second place man on the grid as is next in the lobby as we start the formation lap, but he's back in, so maybe he'll be in control as we start the race. I'm not too sure. I hope he is.
Here we go then. The formation lap gets underway, and
of course, the guys in the back of the field starting in the middle of the corner. That's going to be quite difficult for them. We've got Hearts for Bazooka and Phantom, everybody else on the mediums. It's a fairly simple one-stop, we saw yesterday as well. You can go quite long, and Sean disconnecting as well. It's the second driver now. That's not good signs. Right, invited Sean back in as well. So just those two, or anyone else as well? No, it was just Sean, okay. So, lining up on the grid, Kuko will take pole position. And then Bombardino alongside, on the left hand side, the inside for turn 1. Gabri in third position, might be Kuko's closest competitor. If Bombardino doesn't get back in control of the car, we'll see. The Alpines in 4th and 5th. A great qualifying for them, we'll see how they convert. The final cars lining up at the back of the field now. And we are ready for the race to start. Here we go. The 5 red lights are on. We're ready, and it's lights out, and away we go. Kuko with a good getaway. Bombardino is indeed back in control of the car, but he is not able to attack Kuko. Has to settle for second place. Gabri being attacked by Edwin, as Edwin has a better run on the inside, now turns to the outside of turn 2, and Edwin has jumped Gabri off the line, and Flamer's having a look as well at him, but he doesn't quite have to run through turn 2 to dirt here. Yeah, putting a end to that plan. Gabri, of course, going to try and come back at Edwin if he can, but Edwin into P3 for now. Some movement in the background, that is Lanky going for a move. We've got Mihai and Always as well, and that is Mihai into the barriers, I think that was, and there is a winglet, that is Sean. Sean down to 18th and with wing damage. No, Not Sean, someone else.
It's Lanky.
Oh, Lanky! Well, Lanky are getting wing numbers from lap 1 seems tradition at this point. Always happens. But Kuka kept the lead off the start. The top 2 remaining unchanged. Edwin getting ahead of Gabri, other than that, the entire top 5 remaining unchanged. And now we head onto the Las Vegas strip for the first time. That pole on the apex of the corner has not survived even the first lap, who would have thought. And we have a yellow flag coming up from the straight. That's Alex G who's in the wall. And there is a 3-way battle down the straight. That's Oweiss, Pix, and Pubdog. And Jules Valentine as well is involved as well. A 4-way fight down the straight. And we go 2x2 into the corner. Jules Valentine comes on ahead. Then Oweiss, Pubdog making a bit of contact. And there's a winglet flying there as well. I'm not sure if it was Sparks. A great battle this is on the opening lap of the race. Mia is having a look at Pubdog down towards turn 1. Has he got the run on him? Not quite. Pubdog instead turning defense into attack. Goes late on the brakes against Pix. And it does get hurt of him in the end. Alex G into the pit lane. The 2 V-Cups now fighting for P11 as Pix slips through on the inside against Mihai Maxi trying to follow through. He doesn't quite have that run he needs. Now burning the EAS down the straight. Can he send it on the braking? He's gonna try. Then backs out of it after all. Decides better of it. All unchanged at the front in the meantime. All staying where they were. Sean and Phantom with a lot of work to do back in 14th and 16th now. Comeback drives on the card there. The year is enabled now, so of course Kuko under big pressure from Bobolinho behind. I'm not sure he really has much of a chance of holding on against that. If Bobolinho wants to go for the move, that should be his position quite easily. And the same then will go next lap. Kuka will re-overtake Bobolinho. That is the curse of a straight as long as this one, as Oweiss also gets past Jules Valentine, who doesn't have the EAS ahead. And Bobolinho is ahead of Kuko down towards the final corner, takes P1. Edwin tried to follow through, I think, but he was just a little bit too far behind to make that work. A yellow flag down straight. Lanky Brown out of the race, and he has an incident with Action Rig. And that is a full course safety car. Lanky Brown stopped in the runoff zone of the final corner. I didn't see the incident, unfortunately, but it's Action Rig who was involved in that. And there is a few cars coming into the pit lane with massive damage. That is Pix missing his entire front wing. Mihai in the pits as well, a double stack at V-Cup. Maxi into the pit lane, and so is Sean. Taking the opportunity under the safety car to pit for a new front wing. And a new set of tires.
Oh no, he just has a... Okay, was a bug. I don't know. Because he just spawned on track, but he was in the pits. But he still has his wing damage.
Did they not change his... oh, they didn't change his wing. That is worst case scenario for Sean. It's made his job even more difficult in this race. But I think everybody else at least got their wing changed if they had to make a wing change. And that gives everyone else a second chance in this race. Alex G, of course, with a pit stop on the first lap as well due to wing damage. Back in the fight. The only one that's lost out massively here, of course, is Lanky Brown. And I do imagine that incident then will go down to the stewards. We'll see. I didn't see what happened, so I can't give any judgment, unfortunately.
Nah, I didn't see it either. So.
Oh, Lanky wants to join in on commentating. Why not? Guess he can tell us as well what happened. Hello!
Good evening. Good evening.
So, tell us, what happened? We didn't see it. We only saw you stopped in the runoff and Action Rig with you, so that's all we know.
Yeah, I was passing Action Rig on the long straight. He was still alongside. I could never get fully ahead, and I think what's happened is I've closed in on him on the outside too much, and I've basically forced him to crash into me.
Oh, so you think it's your fault?
I think it's my fault. So yeah, I apologise to Rick for that. I'm sure I was probably mess up his race in some way?
I mean, he didn't get damage, so I think the
Didn't
safety
he?
car it's
Oh,
really
that's right then.
nullified the time loss in the incident, so I think you've basically only screwed yourself over then.
Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, well into turn 3 it must be. First lap I was sort of hit under braking by Alex G behind. That was what put me sort of 4 seconds behind everyone else. So that's about my race really.
Well, that's very unlucky, but I think with the safety car you have given this race a little bit more excitement. I'm excited to see as well the strategy from here, because I think those guys in the hards, I mean, it's a long stint, but on a track like Vegas, you have practically no tyre wear. It could be possible to go to the end, I think.
Did Owise do it last night and did 3?
I think Owise pit at lap 7 and made the end. It's now lap 4.
Okay.
But that's only 3 more laps, you know? So I think Maxi, Mihai, Papdog, Pix and Sean, they have a chance to try and make the end here, and that could make the race very interesting at the end. I hope one of them tries it, even if it doesn't work. I just want to know if it works. Safety car staying out for 1 more lap, it seems. Alex and Sean have not caught up just yet. And that restart gives the opportunity to... Oh, Sean! What are we doing, Sean? This race goes from horrible to even worse. A bad qualifying, disconnecting the formation lap, getting damage on the start, and now a drive-through penalty under the safety car. And the safety car has been called in after all, what the hell? We missed the safety car restart, as Kruko is being attacked by Edwin down towards turn 1. Edwin is now up into second place. And Kruko with a bad exit out of turn 2, and Gabri's gonna slip through as well. On the inside, down towards turn 3, Gabri up into 3rd place, unless Kruko can try and send it back around the outside. No. Even Kruko's not gonna try anything that silly. That wall on the outside I think is a bit too scary for that. So now Owise and JM are battling over P7 and the 2 Saubers as well, lurking in behind. Jules Valentine goes for the outside line into chicane, but no. JM just braked on it. I don't think Jules Valentine was looking for a move there. That would have been a bit suicidal. Bobodinho has broken DRS to Edwin already. And that could be absolutely crucial if Bobodinho were to run away with this race from here. That would make his life a lot easier than if he had Edwin, Gabri, Kuko, Flavors, Rival, Owise, JM, Jules Valentine, Phantom, Bazooka, and Akshmik, and the entire field in his DRS. There's not a single break in the DRS train so far.
Oh, there is one emerging now then, Akshmik in 12.
Yeah, and he's been
Maxi's
attacked
over
by
him.
Maxi, and then we've got Pix and Papdog not far behind. Akshmik losing 3 places on one straight there. I think he's let it happen as well. He wasn't really too fussed about fighting these guys. He knows they're on a very different strategy. Not his race right now. And Gabri's up into 2nd place. He's past Edwin. Dia is now enabled though, and Kuko is going to try and overtake Edwin as well down towards turn 1. Is late on the brakes as he dares. Gets the car barely stopped within track limits, and Edwin with a beautiful switchback. Mihai speeding the pit lane and retires from the race. And Bobodinho spun! What is going on in this race right now? Bobodinho drops down to P8 on the exit of turn 2. And he has wing damage as well. Completely on his own, completely unforced. And from the lead of the race, which now goes to Gabri, Bobodinho drops to the bottom end of the points. And with wing damage as well, he's under big pressure from the Saubers behind. Coming up in the back straight then. Edwin fairly close to Gabri. Might be able to see another spot for the lead here. And Edwin is going to use the DRS. And he is going to get past Gabri. And Flavors in the background with a run on Kuko as well. Flavors up into P3. Edwin up into P1. Alpine are having an absolutely amazing start in this Grand Prix. Started 4th and 5th. Now 1st and 3rd. And then there's a wall tap by Oweiss that might have gotten him a bit of damage. We'll see if Bobodinho pits will change his damage. No, Bobodinho's gonna keep going on. The wing damage clean not bad enough to justify pits up. Kuko straight back at Flavors and at Gabri. Ooh! And now it's an Alpine 1-2 as Kuko goes for the move on Gabri.
This is surely gonna go to the stewards.
I would imagine.
Oh my god.
I mean, I only went on board with Kuko as I saw him like pushing Gabri off track already,
Yeah,
but I can put 2 and 2 together and assume Kuko went for a silly dive and put Gabri off track, and now Viral up into P3, and it's a div 3 1 2 3.
I saw it from the onboard from Flavors, and yeah, I would say Kuko, yeah, misjudged the corner a bit.
Misjudged, or you think he's just a terrorist?
I think a bit of
Oh,
both.
I think Gabri's mad. Because, yeah, there's no way you'd even try that if you're not completely gone with the head.
I mean, there's gonna be a bit of bit to laugh when he will send this POV in.
And the 2 Alpines now looking for a swap on the lead as well. Flavors with a run on his teammate Edwin, who's covering the inside line, so those two... Oh, nah, Edwin let him go actually. He gave him the racing line, that's nice. I thought he was defending. Oweiss goes in the back of Gabri, under braking, and I can only say that is completely on Gabri because he moved in the braking. And Gabri spun around, Oweiss loses places as well. As there is a battle for the lead. The 2 Alpines and the McLaren of Rival, 3 wide down towards turn 1, Edwin on the apex of turn 1. Sorry, no, that's Flavors on the apex, and Edwin now on the apex for turn 2. Viral on the inside line against Flavors. They make contact. Viral is spun around and up against the wall. Gets wing damage as well. Kuko and JM get past Jills Valentine up into the top 5. What am I seeing in this Grand Prix? Flavors back into the lead of the race. What is going on here in Vegas? All the chaos we didn't get in Division 3, we're getting now. Phantom already up into 8th.
Nearly behind Viral. Nearly into the back of him.
Right, I mean, Viral has damage. Kuko's getting a penalty. I think JM has damage. There is so many drivers here in this top group. And if we look at the gaps all the way down to Maxi, this is anyone's race.
If it continues like that, even Sean has a shot for the race win.
Oh, Phantom into the wall completely on his own on the exit of the what corner? Are there corner names for this track? I don't know. The one onto the long straight. And another swap for the lead. The Alpines managing this well. Flavors let Edwin go. Swapping down that DRS straight every time to make sure they get they make use of that DRS straight line speed and keep Kuko behind. I can't believe I'm commentating on an Alpine 1-2 right now.
Edwin in the pits.
Viral 2.
Crazy early pit stops. Oh, it's lap 9 actually, not that early. Race has flown by. And Edwin and Viral, they've learned from yesterday. The undercut was very powerful in Division 3. They essentially decided the race. That's Jills Valentine, all out of shape. And that is wing damage, I think. No wing damage somehow, but
No,
he's lost
it's
quite a few places and he's gonna lose even more because he has no momentum down the straight. And that's what one little mistake can cost you.
Ooh.
He got so
And
lucky
nearly-
that Pub Dog left
Yeah.
literally 1 car's width to the wall, because otherwise that's an airplane crash.
Kuko's out of DRS from Flavors.
That's a sentence. That sure is a sentence. Flavors has dropped Kuko out of DS. Kuko's coming back into it though.
More importantly, Kuko has
Yeah, but
no
he-
ERS and Flavors has
no ERS left.
67%. This guy
So-
is learning.
Has Flavors learned ERS management since yesterday? That's unbelievable. I can't believe what I'm thinking. I think JM has lost ERS to Kuko as well, because the detection point is right here down the straight. So the top 2 have broken. Oh, JM just about got it. Just about, literally. Barely. Pub Dog with a run on Gabri, no way. Well, he's got not got a ERS. Takes with the run on Bobodinho though, but he also doesn't have much ERS. Bobodinho is literally 0. Jills Valentine and Maxi with a battle down towards the final corner, and Jills Valentine's gonna come out ahead in that one. Let's see if anyone responds to the undercut of Edwin. Flavors in, Kuko in,
Yeah,
JM out, always out.
James is out.
Of course, Phantom and Bazooka gonna stay out on those hards. But Mourinho with the damage still staying out. Pigs with a move down towards turn 1 here. Tries to go for the outside line. Of course, that turns to the inside for turn 2, so that should be the advantage for him to try and get this move done. Pigs, of course, with better tires as well at this stage. I think those hards. As Gabri's round! Once again. He caught that quite nicely though, so he only lost the 1 position to Papdog. But that second corner definitely a problem for many of our drivers today. But Mourinho, Jules Valentine, now Gabri. And I'm sure there's others that we just didn't catch on stream. That battle between Pix and Mourinho is finally creating a bit of a gap in the train. Bazooka 2 seconds ahead of Pix. Crucially, Edwin and Flavors both coming out ahead of Kuko. And Sean, he's now in this train. That could become a problem for Viral, as Sean, of course, is on older tires. It's quite likely that Sean drops out of DRS to Kuko and gets Viral out of the fight for this race win. Look at Papdog, Mourinho and Pigs gonna go 3 wide down towards the final corner here. Papdog on the inside line, Mourinho in the middle, and Pigs all the way on the outside. Pigs backs out of it. It's just Papdog and Mourinho as Papdog jumps over the curb on the inside line. Mourinho has a better run thanks to that and gets ahead. I've got a few more pit stops. That's always from second place. Mourinho in and Gabri, look at that, rocketing past Pigs. Back up into P6 for the moment. P5 once he gets past always in the pit lane. And now Maxi looking up the inside towards turn 1. Outside line for turn 2, it's going to be tough. But he gets out in dirty air, but still can't get the car rotated in properly. Tries to switch back line, but it's not really going to work. Now he has the EAS down the straight, down that Pix doesn't have anymore. And that will give Maxi P6 in this race. Unless Pix with a late send on the brakes towards the outside. But he gets stopped by the wall on the outside, had to slam on the brakes next, and that's costing the position in the end. Always coming out in P14 behind Viral, who himself is still stuck behind Sean, who's lost DRS to Kuko. So the well, pit stop cleared, the lead train now. Edwin, Flavors and Kuko have dropped the rest of the field. Unless Sean is going to try and get back into the DRS range of Kuko, I believe. He's burning quite a lot of ERS down here. With his tire disadvantage, I think it's a lost cause really, unless Kuko's going to try and help him, but Kuko has his own race to run, he has to beat those Alpines. He can really use those points with Gabri having a... oh well, not at all. Gabri isn't having a horrible race, but he's having a tough race for sure. Not where he wants to be. And Rival is going to get past this... down the straight here. Flavors up into 9th against Edwin. JM into the pit lane. Gabri is still staying out, going really long. Last of the medium runners from the start, still out on track. Alex G as well, of course, but he pitted on the first lap at least, so his tyres are slightly fresher.
Maxi's having a go at Gabri, yeah?
Yeah, Gabri's tyres are definitely an issue, because look at how much under pressure he is from Maxi and Pix. And if you look at the gaps, Flavors is not that far away from catching Gabri at this point. As Pix Rio takes Maxi.
I don't understand what Gabri's idea is, because yeah, he's building the tire delta now, but he will come out far behind this DRS train, and catching is the one thing, but then overtaking a DRS train of like 8 cars, it is yeah, and difficult mission to do for him.
I wouldn't even worry about overtaking, you're not going to catch it, because the DRS train would be faster even on worse tires, because they actually have DRS. And look, if you look at the length of those straights, DRS and slipstream is going to gain you like a second a lap. We saw it in Division 3 yesterday as well. Once you lose that DRS train, you're never catching back up. It's not possible. That's why the undercut was so powerful. That's why Edwin and Viral went so early.
Yeah, and if you look at the gaps, they're always like 7 to 9 tenths from each other, so they have like this the DRS, the small slipstream, but they're not fighting each other.
Especially because the train is being led by Edwin and Flavors, who have got no reason to try and fight each other. But even if they weren't teammates, it's still mutually beneficial to just not have like that intense a fight until the last lap, really. 'Cause
Yeah.
it doesn't
they
really matter
legit-
until the last lap was ahead.
they
as long
just
as you stay in
swap
the
position
DRS.
on the DRS straight.
Exactly. It's just it helps everyone in this train if they keep it calm. Apart from the guys, of course, at the back of the train, but they have a much harder time overtaking. The ones in the front, they are happy to stay where they are. Edwin, Flavors, maybe even Kuko. Although I would imagine Kuko at least wants to be ahead of one of the Alpines.
No.
And Gabri, yeah,
passed,
look at that gap, 6.5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's too always. I mean, if we, that's like what,
Yeah,
10
and
seconds to Flavors, maybe?
Yeah, if you consider 2.5 from Sean to Viral, so yeah, around 10 seconds to Flavors and Edwin.
And that's only, of course, he wasn't all the way at the front of the train, but he was in that train. That's only a 4-lap undercut. That's the difference it makes. And now I think he will lose a place as well down the straight, because Jules Valentine has got a lot of ERS and he's very close. And down the straight, that 2-lap tire advantage Gabri has is not going to do him anything, because, well, fresher tires don't give you straight line speed. JM gets past Sean, and always will follow through as well. And Gabri is being overtaken by Jules Valentine and has got no defense whatsoever. I do wonder what Maxi, Pix and Pablo are going to do, if they're going to try and make those tires last in the end. I mean, they are halfway through the stint if they want to do it now. They've done 11 laps and not 11 to go. So if we knew the tire wear numbers, I could probably tell you right now, but we unfortunately don't. I don't have the telemetry for that. Always did tell me about a telemetry app I could use, but I didn't get around to having a look at it. So we won't know. I mean, it's more exciting actually if we don't know.
Phantom is struggling to keep him with his DRS there. He's hovering around the second.
Sean picking up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. And this top 4 train moving closer and closer towards the back of the guys who pitted on the safety car. As Phantom gets past Bazooka. And Kuko, crucially, gets past Edwin. Kuko now in between the two Alpines. And he goes in the back of Flavors. Thankfully, Flavors managed to save the car and didn't get any sort of damage from that or anything. Phantom into the pit lane now. And Pix gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Probably, if Flavors is gonna report this, it's maybe gonna be another penalty for Kuko. Just basic rear ending.
Yeah, there is a bit hanging over Kuko's head now, penalty-wise, which is going to make it quite difficult to get that race win that he's currently fighting for. Yesterday's race winner Viral, I think, picked up a bit of damage at some point. Yeah, the right front end plate missing. They are, however, coming up back of his teammate Maxi, and that could be an opportunity. Of course, Maxi has got all the incentive to try and help his teammate.
Can you believe sitting or being Flavors right now? I mean, that's his best chance of winning a Div 2 race.
Where did Flavors finish yesterday? Because I mean, I think he had a solid race, but did he podium even?
No. Podium was
He was in P5.
Viral,
He had a penalty.
Edwin, Maxi, I think.
Yeah, so Flavors not even on the podium yesterday, and now in a division higher. All of a sudden he's fighting for. I mean, if we look at the top 4 train, 3 of those guys are Division 3 drivers. Kuko is the only driver in this train who is not racing in Division 3. Flavors, Edwin, and Viral. And it's not like they shouldn't be in Division 3, they absolutely are normally Division 3 pace, but they are having great weekends. And that is Rival with the move on Edwin. Gets ahead of him down towards turn 1, but they have lost DRS to Kuku and Flavors as they battle each other too, and that's exactly what I was worried about might happen. They have also now been caught by JM, who's got a bit of a tyre advantage. So Rival and Edwin under pressure in that battle for P5. Maxi and Papdog still going. Papdog has got a 3.5 second buffer to Maxi. 9 laps to go. He's not going to win the race with that strategy if he goes to the end. The gap is not big enough for that. But if he goes to the end, I'm certain that could get him a good result. If it's possible. I mean, I just don't know what the tyre wear is like. I know it's an easy one, but I don't know if it's that easy, you know, to do 22 laps on the tyre. And Rival is back in DRS range, and that is mainly thanks to Maxi giving Flavors a bit of dirty air. So good teamwork there at McLaren, good timing as well. Right at the lap where Rival needs it, Maxi ahead of Flavors. And Maxi now burning all his oil to try and keep Flavors behind. And I think he just about will do so. Alex G has crashed out, and where is he going? Look at the track map. How long is that runoff zone?
Wait.
Holy shit! he's on the halo of Kuku. Oh, Flavors, sorry. that dot is all the way down, like in the middle of Flavors' halo on the onboard.
Oh, there! Oh my god.
There's no way the runoff is that deep.
I was onboard with Action Rig, I didn't even see the dot.
Yeah, it's on the halo if you're onboard with someone. It's unbelievable.
That's not even on the halo, it's much further on my
Depends
screen.
on your camera, I guess, but he's also still there, he's not despawning.
Yeah, okay.
Has he
Yeah,
parked
I
his
mean-
car, like, in fucking Los Angeles or something? What am I looking at?
Especially, why is Action Rig still behind him? Where did he crash?
Oh, Sean Moore's all over the place there, and Phantom Fox has to look up the inside. Well, Sean holds on for now, but it's a massive tyre advantage, and Phantom Fox needs to get past here, but I'm not sure to go for the move here, because there's a big straight coming up, where Sean will just re-overtake if he goes for it now. Kuku and Flavors battling down the straight. Oh, and Kuku has to cut the corner, as they are all still stuck behind Maxi, and now they're playing some DRS games here. This is absolute bullshit, and there comes Rival through into the lead of the race. All of a sudden, P2 of this race, sorry, and who's got the DRS in the end? I have got no idea. We've got a 5-6 way fight down the straight. What is going on here? This is absolute cinema, and that is Maxi coming out ahead after all of that, and they go into the wall, I think. No, just about not. What is happening? Oh my goodness me, and Rival up in the second place, and Maxi in third. It's a virtual safety car. There's a
Kuku has damage.
That is Flavors into the pit lane under the VSC, which is interesting. He doesn't have damage. Kuku's in, he doesn't have damage. That makes sense. But that VSC was perfectly timed because Maxi was about to lose all those places, and now the VSC, Rival in second place. Edwin is stuck behind Maxi. We know it's about to happen, right? Maxi's on 15 lap on hard. He doesn't even have to slow down on purpose. He could just do his normal pace and not get out the way. And he will definitely keep Edwin behind him for a few corners. And that will be crucial. That could get Rival the gap he needs. And I'm surprised that Flavors pit, because he didn't have damage or anything. I think Flavors just threw away a really good result. Kuku as well, of course, the damage, but he had a good reason to pit. Down in 13th now. And that VSC has definitely... all of that thrown a spanner, because look at Phantom. All of a sudden...
He's 7th.
All of a
And he's
sudden,
there.
Phantom is in this, because his tires are so much better than everybody else's. Action Rig now retired from the session. By the
If
way,
he's doing it. Oh my god.
Alex G's car is still there.
Yeah.
Is it moving? Is it moving further down?
No, it's I think if it is, it's very slowly. And now on the restart, Maxi under attack from Edwin immediately, of course, but he's very close to Rival as well. I think the only way for him to stay ahead of Edwin would be to pass his teammate, and that would not be very beneficial unless Rival's gonna try and box Edwin in here. No, he can't do that. Edwin goes into second place. Maxi goes back ahead of Rival, and surely he's gonna let him back through. And that leaves Edwin and Rival to battle for the lead of this race. Oh, sorry, P2 of this race. Papdog is still leading. I haven't seen Papdog in so long. He's just been doing his own thing up there. And he's definitely gained a bit of time. in all of this. As Viral now looking for a move on Edwin. Of course, it's worth mentioning, Viral doesn't damage.
Oh, yeah, he has.
5.5 seconds now from Papdog to Edwin. I mean, all of that chaos that Maxi has just caused, and that VSC as well. Papdog has half a chance of winning this. I counted them out because the gap was about like 3 seconds only, and that wasn't enough. But Maxi has definitely increased that gap by quite a bit. And now Maxi goes in the wall, and that puts an end to his heroics. There's another VSC, and a 10-second penalty to Maxi with a collision with JM as he, well, made contact with him under VSC then as it came out here, just as he went in the wall. That's rather unlucky. But I think his race was in the mud either way with that VSC. But now we've got Edwin, we've got Viral, we've got JM, we've got Allwise, and we've got Phantom in the train. Bazooka not too far behind either on fresh tires, but he's glad to get past Maxi, who is turning a bit of a roadblock. But I think that's over. He has to pitch shortly. We're back on the green flags. That was a short VSC, and Maxi with a bit of a flick spin out the corner. That is going to give Bazooka the position, but that gives Maxi DRS. I think Maxi is getting out of people's way now. Viral gets past Edwin for second place. And I can't believe I'm saying this. Phantom is definitely in this fight for the win.
He surely is. He just needs to get past in this train. But he has the tire for it. And if he just picks one by one,
he needs one lap.
Yeah.
And he has to catch Papdog as well. That's the bigger problem, I think, because Papdog's gap is that second VSC as well. Another few corners where no one else could gain lap time on him.
I mean, and he had a bad reset because he lost around a second on this reset, so he had a bad reset as well. It's still an uncomfortable gap.
And I think Phantom's gonna go for it on Allwise into chicane. No. He had a look, but I think Always covered off the inside, and that spooked Phantom a little bit. He doesn't want to throw away what he's gained so far. He's in a great position here. But he might just run out of laps to make all these overtakes happen. Gabri, Kuku and Sean, the big three, or at least what we thought were the big three, nowhere to be seen. Oh, Phantom and Always both all over the place. There will be another swap for P2, I believe. Edwin with a run on Viral. And of course that eats into the gap of Papdog as they gain down the straight. But they are not gaining much in the corners, honestly. Mainly in the DRS straights. I can't believe I counted Papdog out, because he is probably the favorite now to win. If that tire lasts. If that tire lasts. Phantom burning all the overtake now with the run on Allwise. He wants that position, he needs that position. And he has the inside line out towards turn 1. That should be the advantage he needs with the tires as well. Allwise goes deep, and Phantom is up into 5th. 1 down, 3 more to go, and then 4 seconds to Papdog.
Oh, Viral goes wide. That's probably gonna be a good chance for JM, but
JM doesn't force the issue.
Doesn't burn ERS. So
the train is getting even bigger. Bazooka is here now, and he's brought Gabri and Bombardino with him. The train from 2nd of Edwin to 9th of Bombardino. And a battle for the last points position as well. Jules Valentine on those older halves being chased by Flavors and then Kuku as well. .3 seconds on Edwin. He's eaten a lot into that gap of Papdog. And now we come onto the DRS again, but I think Viral is a little bit further behind Edwin than he wants to be. Might be the first lap in a while we don't see a swap. And JM now is burning his overtake down the straight as well. He might try and attack Viral and get himself in that position to be the one swapping with Edwin.
No, Viral will come.
Jesus Christ, I underestimate the slipstream and the DRS effect. No, he won't actually.
I mean,
he could have.
He won't just because he didn't use slipstream properly.
And Flavors gets past Jules Valentine. That's him into the points. Phantom is a little bit too far behind JM. Rival doesn't want to attack Edwin to turn 1, of course. Those two, I mean, they are racing each other for the win, but they also have a lot of reason to try and work together, because Papdog, if these guys battle too hard, that's only playing it in the hands of Papdog, who is still 2.8 seconds in the lead. The thing is, if they catch him, he's fighting with nothing. Once they're in DRS range, even on the last lap, as JM has locked up the front, and he's got big wing damage as he goes in the wall. And that's another virtual safety car. And JM, with that wing damage, drops down to 9th position. And that's another position as well for everybody else. And what do you say about Alex G moving? He's definitely moving, right? Because you weren't wrong.
Yeah,
At the start, he was like right below that this corner we're coming up to with Edwin and Rival.
Yeah, true.
And
Now he's nearly at the
he's moved like
detection
along
point.
the straight. On a great restart by Edwin. He's closed in so much on Papdog here. And Viral now in DRS range, a gap 2.5 seconds. Viral should be able to overtake Edwin here with the DRS. Phantom just about in DRS range as well. This battle is heating up towards the last lap of the race. And here comes Viral, he does take 2nd place, Edwin lets him go. Here comes Phantom. With a massive tyre advantage. Of course, Viral and Edwin is one of the oldest hearts. This is the biggest advantage Phantom's had so far. So you're gonna look for a move towards turn 1. Edwin covers the outside, Phantom looks for the inside. Can he break that late? No, he can't. But Edwin goes deep!
Yeah, but...
And there's Phantom now! Oh, what a save! We've now got Garber against JM, that's a battle for P8. Garber trying to do some damage limitation. And he breaks, of course, much later, since JM's wing damage is impacting his braking ability quite a bit. We've got 2.5 laps to go, 2 seconds from Rival to Papdog. Can they eat in that gap enough? Can Papdog's tyre last? He's all over the place on traction. A nail-biting finale here in Las Vegas. Phantom with the best tyres. Viral with the track position in this DRS train. Papdog running out of tyres, but everybody else running out of laps. Edwin is too far behind Rival and he hasn't got the ERS. If anything, he needs to look backwards towards Phantom Fox, because Phantom, he's too far back this straight, but maybe down towards turn 1 again. And we've got a yellow flag for Maxi at turn 2. And Phantom, with a bad exit out the final corner, is not going to have a run Edwin after all.
Did Papdog ever win a race?
I don't think so. This would be his first one, I'm pretty sure. But we've got 2 laps to go, 1.5 seconds. Viral caught half a second that lap. If Viral gets in DRS range, I'm not sure if Papdog has much of a chance. And if Viral gets in DRS range, of course, well, that means he has a much better chance of defending against Edwin. So Edwin knows this is do or die. But then, if he overtakes Viral and doesn't get DRS on Papdog himself, Viral will just re-overtake. It's a really tricky situation to be in for everyone right now, but Papdog's actually gotten the gap a little bit up again. Phantom not looking too threatening against Edwin. 1.5 laps to go, and this still could be anyone's race. Papdog, Viral, Edwin, Phantom all look reasonable options. Look at the ERS on Phantom. Almost a full charge. And Rival is not going to be anywhere near DRS range to Papdog now. And Edwin with a terrible exit. And here comes Phantom. Edwin covering the inside aggressively. Phantom has to go for the outside. And they are neck and neck, matching each other's speed. Phantom has to try and brake as late as he dares on the outside, switches to the inside, and goes late on the brakes, gets the car, not stopped, they make contact. Phantom barges Edwin out the way, and that is the move that will decide their battle for the race win. As Phantom drops back behind so many cars, look at all of them now coming out the last corner. And flying past him, that's Bazooka up into 3rd place now, as Edwin
What is going
is locked in the battle now with Phantom and always coming through in the middle of the track.
on? What is going on here?
And all of a sudden
How is
Gabri's in
Gabri-
P5. And Bombardino is here as well. What is going on?
How is Phantom back on P4?
I don't know, man. I've lost the plot. I've lost it. Gabri is boxed in by the Aston Martins, who make contact, and Gabri with the switchback on Bombardino. What a race this is in Vegas. Unbelievable scenes. Gabri almost pushing the wall by Bombardino. But as we come into the last couple of corners, Viral is not in DRS range to Pubdog, and Pubdog, unbelievably, is going to pull it off. It looks like 22 laps on a hard tire around Vegas. Viral is now on DRS range, but he hasn't got the ERS. It's a little bit too late. One more lap, I think, is what Viral would have needed. And Pubdog, I can't believe it. We have a yellow flag, and that is Always who spun around.
No,
Heartbreak for Always in
yeah.
such a good position. And Viral didn't even get the DRS. Pubdog coming towards the final corner. Still battling going on for P4 here. That's Phantom now, the run on Bazooka, battle for P3 for the podium position. And Phantom does get back into the podium. And Pubdog comes out the last corner, and I cannot believe what a strategy that is. Pitting under the early safety car, going all the way to the end, and he makes it work with 1 lap to spare. There's Viral. It's too little, too late. Pubdog is your race winner in Division 2. Viral with a great race in 2nd place after winning Division 3 as well, with wing damage as well to get that position. Great result. Phantom from last place on the grid to 3rd. There was a bit of contact at the end there with Edwin. But what a result still. Bazooka, what a result in 4th place as well. Bombardino with such a tough race he had in 5th position in the end. JM recovering to 6th with the damage. Gabri, yeah, the strategy screwed him. P7, that should have been so much more. Flavors as well, the strategy fuck up, I think. Why did he pit? Why did he pit? He didn't have damage, no reason to. Kuko recovering to 9th with the damage in the pit stop. Jills Valentine brings home a point for Sauber, and Always with that late spin just about misses out a point. Edwin, heartbreaking that to see. P12 for him, was in the fight for the win for so long. Alpine in general, P8 and P12, they were running 1-2 for so long. And in the end it all fell apart. Sean Wool, P13 as well. Horrible race for him. Picks in 14th with half a car as well. And finally Maxi, and also Alex G has slowly moved to the racing track again. If I go with Pubdog, can I see Alex G? I doubt it, but because Maxi could cross the line. Yeah, race over. But Alex should be somewhere on the right here if
Yeah, look, he's...
but he's not
I
there.
don't know, like, he's bar hopping or something. I don't know what he's doing there.
Alex G's side plot and all of that is crazy. But that is a strong contender for best race of the season. And a debut win for Pubdog, his first ever win in F1 Total. At least I'm fairly certain. And what a way to win it. I fully counted him out. I was convinced that he would get caught. But, well, Maxi trying to help Viral in the end. I think cost Viral, because that lap or two that Maxi held everyone up is a lap or two that Viral was missing in the end. But then again, if Maxi doesn't do that, Viral is not even the one chasing after Pubdog, it might be someone else. But what a race we've had. Unbelievable stuff. No cleanest driver, who would have thought? Wow. Just wow. Lanky, thank you for that early safety car. That brought us, I think, one of the best races we've ever had in Division 2. I'm stunned. I'm lost for words. Can we race Vegas every week? I'm sure the drivers will love that as well.
No.
The top 4 consists from guys who started 12th, 19th, and 15th.
Fucking hell. I don't know what to say anymore. I need to recover from that race. I need a vacation. Thank you, Sully, thank you, Lanky, for joining me in the commentary box for this one. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I imagine you did.
Yeah.
That was...
Well, I can't say I did, to be honest, after my early exit, but the rest of the race was good.
Well, any final words from you guys? Anything left to say?
Yeah, at some point I didn't expect the race to be even better than it was at the start. But I got proven wrong, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, after Division 3 yesterday, I must say Division 3 wasn't the best race I've ever seen, if I'm putting it nicely. That had everything. Absolutely everything. All the drama, all the racing, all the strategy that you'd ever want from a race. And yeah, I can only thank the drivers for putting on such a great show for us. And I hope we see races like that every week. Division 2, of course, always delivers, but that's another level, that race. Yeah, we've got one more race at Vegas on Saturday in Division 1, 7:30 p.m. UK time. Should be streamed, hopefully. The opener at Great Britain wasn't streamed since Gabi wasn't available. But so far, I haven't heard from Gabi that he's not making it, so should be streamed. And then, of course, next week we've got the Austrian Grand Prix, 7 days from now in Division 2, of course, on Tuesday in Division 3 as well. Round 3 of the season. Should be another great race. Austria, I think, a track that produces great racing. A bit heavy on the DRS trains, I would say, but that's mainly, I think, annoying for drivers. As a commentator, especially in divisions like Division 2 and 3, it can be quite exciting. Yeah, said all I need to say. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoy your evening. I know you enjoyed that race. Yeah, have a good one.
Bye bye.